The following is a DW Ancient Egypt production. The first intermediate period lasted 250 years, which is amazing to consider since it was a dark age that we know very little about. No list of pharaohs exists for this period. Manetho describes the 7th dynasty as 70 kings who ruled in 70 days. This was a poetic form of symbolizing a demise of the central government. Around 2181 BC, the seat of kingship moved south from Memphis to Heracleopolis at the entrance of the Fayum. The Heracleopolitan kings of the 9th and 10th dynasties saw themselves as heirs of the Old Kingdom, and one was buried at Saqqara. But their powers were limited, and they did not have full dominance over Middle Egypt. It was against them that a newly emerging power directed its struggles for supremacy. Excavations at Memphis are difficult because of the high water table and extensive cultivation, and thus it is a lost city. Because the capital is gone, the first intermediate period is hard to study. From what we do have of the sources, we can surmise the following. The 8th dynasty comprised of 17 or so kings, possibly descended from Pepi II, that claimed to govern from Memphis. Their authority was mostly limited to around the city. By this point, the delta had been invaded by so-called Asiatics from the east. Specific information about this invasion is lacking. The city of Heracleopolis had taken control of Middle Egypt and had founded the 9th dynasty, which could have controlled the entire country for a while. Manetho mentions the cruelty of a 9th dynasty king named Oktos, whom the gods of Egypt killed. To the south of the regions where political power had been concentrated since early dynastic times, developed a new center which would dominate Egypt for many centuries: Thebes. The population of two previously minor towns on the east bank of the Nile merged under the leadership of an overseer of priests called Entef. Around 2134 BC, he started a rival dynasty to the one at Heracleopolis, which we now call the 11th dynasty. The basis for his power is unknown, but he had the ability to command the constructions of a huge Saf tomb across the river. Entef initiated a sequence of stable and lengthy rules that led to a pacification of the south. From this base, his successors started to push north, annexing territories the rulers of Heracleopolis claimed as their own. The Thebans restored the prestige of the king. Officials acknowledged their dependence on him, and the king again was recognized as the sponsor of temple building throughout the territory. Already, the second king of the dynasty, Entef II, had taken the title of King of Upper and Lower Egypt, which did not mean that he controlled both the valley and the delta, but revealed his aspirations clearly. The records are still vague, but by this time Egypt was divided. The 10th dynasty from Heracleopolis ruling the north, while the new rival family established the 11th dynasty ruling the south from Thebes. This was a war-torn period of time. These two hostile powers continued to grow in strength, which resulted in frequent clashes along the border, mostly north of Abydos. There is a minor view into this period from a famous Middle Kingdom story called The Tale of the Eloquent Peasant. This peasant is robbed of his goods by a landowner while on his way to the market, and decides to take his case before the king. In the reign of His late Majesty King Nebkare, the peasant presents his case to the king, who is entranced by the peasant's eloquent speech, making him present the case over and over again while he enjoys listening to him.